everybody. Thank you so much for being with us. Tonight, we have a special edition of VidLift. This is the last VidLift on the rotating channels because next week, we're going to be on the VidLift channel. So we'll have that link for you. We'll have more information. We are really excited to be able to launch that channel. It's a small channel, so you're going to have to make sure you search for it to find it, to do it. But it'll be the same great show, the same mediocre hosts, and the same amazing content. So make sure you join us on the VidLift channel next week. What we're going to do tonight is we're going to take a look at a video from Full-Time Dream. It's going to be their channel intro video. We're going to look at an in-progress video from Proceeding Onward in America POA vlog. They are still editing this one, and we're going to give some feedback and share with them about a certain snippet. We would love for you guys to join us with by sending us a link to a YouTube video. Just a 1 minute segment is all we need. Tell us what 1 minute. We'll take a look at it. We'll provide some feedback. We'll tell you the really cool things you're doing, and we'll tell you some things we would do differently. That doesn't mean that there's a right and a wrong. It means that if you want some feedback from some peers, that's the thing. So often we work so hard on our videos and we just don't know how it's landing or what to do better. And that's what's so cool about this VidLift community. We're so glad you're here with us tonight. Let's see who else is here with us tonight. First up is from RV on the Wayside, Mr. Donovan. What's up, Donovan? How are things going there, sir?
Good. How are you?
Man, I'm awesome. Tell us about your channel and what you got going on over there.
So we're actually working on a couple videos at the same time, and that means editing takes longer. But hopefully you get to see a little of Mexico, little Cancun trip that we took. So we're working on a partial music video and partial narration of that, and that should be pretty exciting. Place we went to was amazing, so I can't wait to share that one. But a lot of times we teach a little something, or we show an adventure we had, or whatever I find just silly and funny, I'll put up.
Y'all, if you've not checked out RV on the Wayside, make sure you're ready to get a giggle, because you can't watch even the instructional videos. You can't watch Donovan and Jody over there without getting a giggle. Y'all do such an awesome job. Let's see who else we've got with us. We've got Dave from Texas Family Camping. Here he is. How are you, sir?
Hey, y'all. So glad to be back. I've been missing this for a few weeks.
I like how you're speaking Texas. That was good.
Say, what?
I said you're speaking Texas. Hey, y'all.
Texas? Hey, y'all. And we're not even in Texas. We're in Colorado.
Man.
I had no intention of missing last week, but I was intent on becoming #1 at #1 and beating out Scott McGuire on tires that is #1 at #2. But I got to tell you, when you're dealing with black tanks, you come up with faces like this. And then you come up with faces like this. I don't feel so good. At any rate, I am so happy to be back at VidLift and not underneath the RV dealing with the black tank valve. And I'm looking forward to tonight's show.
We are glad that you're vertical. And those of you that don't know, Dave is well into the process of going full time on the road. How is that process going, Mr. Texas?
Well, I would say we've done a 2-month trip to get our feet wet and get away from the house and get away from the stuff that we need to let go of. And I think we've done a great job because we've spent time getting our kids exposed to new and different things like horseback riding, things like that they just didn't have in their everyday life. So we're getting everybody in the family so that they like this lifestyle. Now we need to go back to the house and get rid of the remaining items so that we can sell our house.
Man, y'all are living the dream. What so many folks want to do, y'all are doing it, and that's awesome. Good for you. And y'all, yesterday was Labor Day. So what better way to celebrate Labor Day than with the world's most favoritist work camper? Here's Steve Turtle. How are you, sir?
I am awesome, and thanks for that introduction. I don't know if I'm the awesome in this, but I will tell you that Labor Day is confused. I mean, a lot of people don't understand what that's for, and that is a day in which if a woman has her baby on Labor Day, she can get special incentives from the government. for having that baby on Labor Day. I think it's like $300 a month. I don't know. But
what
anyway,
if she's on a live stream when she has the baby? Because there's a chance. It was close.
Yeah. There you go. I saw it. I saw it with my own 2 eyes.
So what's new in the land of Steve Turtle?
Well, I'm down here in the panhandle of Florida at this pioneer settlement, and it's pretty awesome. I'm having a good time. We really haven't got up to speed with a whole lot of events going on. We do have a peanut boil coming up pretty soon, and we're going to have a whole bunch of people here. We're going to have one of the old buildings. We have a band that sets up on the stage, and they sing, and we serve peanuts and I think hot dogs and ice cream and a whole bunch of other stuff. But the Pioneer Settlement has about 18 old pioneer buildings that people can come out and visit and relive the history from about 1840 to 1920. And hopefully I'll be able to video some of this and make a video out of it and share it with everybody. But that's our work camper job for right now.
That is awesome. Well, it's fun catching up with everybody, but let's be honest. Nobody's in this chat to hear about us. We are all here to learn how to make better videos. So what we've got for you tonight, we're going to start with a video from Full-Time Dream. Full-Time Dream shared with us their channel intro video. Now, we were slow on the take here. It took us forever to get our channel intro video up. And I would advise you, if you haven't done it yet, do it, because you can set it to play when a new non-subscriber comes to your channel. The thing plays automatically. And, we can talk later about how long it should be and all of those things. But let's start out. We're going to run the channel intro video for Full-Time Dream. We're each going to take turns talking about it. Then we're going to play it again, and we're going to see all the things, and we'll have a roundtable discussion. And guys, as we play this, if there's anything that catches your attention, type it in the chat. But here's our first video tonight from Full-Time Dream.
Today is gonna be a little something more. I've got a plan in mind, a special thing in store. The light bulb inside my head says, get out and play, 'cause you never feel this way. It's my lucky day, it's my lucky day, it's my lucky day, my lucky day. Don't need a pot of gold, a rabbit's foot or to be told. It's my lucky day, it's my lucky day.
Man, what fun. So what we're going to do, we're each going to share some feedback, just some thoughts we have, then we'll play it again and we'll all discuss it. But in the chat, feel free to share your thoughts on that one. I know that that they would love to see what you think about it. So go ahead and type what you think about it. Donovan, what did you think? I was just curious how long you were going to go.
I pulled a Steve Turtle.
I was drinking my drink.
I don't even remember what I said. I'm just kidding. It took me 1.5 years to do my welcome video, so don't be in a hurry, because to do a video like they just did, you need some footage of lots of places, and that's what they did. And that's what I did too. So don't be in too big a hurry, but I think it is a good idea. We should talk about that. Fun, fast-paced, exciting. Holy cow, is that thing moving? I missed Bella's name. When there was 3 names up there, I couldn't read fast enough. So on the second time I watched it, I really focused to try to get Bella's name, the puppy. So that was one thing. I read all the other names, but when there was 3 names, I couldn't quite catch that. But heck, if they watch it again, that's just a bonus, right? Loved Pot of Gold and Rabbit. Thought that was just fantastic, because its song slows down just enough that it brought your attention to it. And boy, those hit me right away. I kind of wish you guys would have ended it on your laughing together, because that just brought joy to me. And then you popped up the other two things and the joy just kind of like went back to the normal ending of videos, right? I would have liked to seen you just kind of finish and trail that off right at the end where you guys were laughing. And I'll talk about why during the roundtable. All you, David.
All right, so this is definitely one of my kind of videos because, as especially Donovan knows, I like making like a music video style where cuts go to the beat. One of the things that did throw me off, because this was really, it was done well, and they always did meet a certain beat, but there was a point where the video kind of twisted a little bit. I think they got a few clips that were a few short, and they switched from going on the snare drum to the bass drum. Just threw me for a little bit of a loop. Not something that's really wrong. I can honestly say I have done this myself on multiple occasions and caught it afterwards. Just something that, you know, you could work on improving on. And aside from that, I thought it was really great. Maybe some sound effects. I know that working with a song that's got vocals in it can make it a little bit more of a challenge to make sure the vocals of the song still come through the video. But it was a great video. I love it. It's my kind of style of video because, yeah, it makes you want more. And I know, I'm pretty sure what your plan is, you're going to use this when people land on your page so that they know more about you. This isn't necessarily a video for before every video, I'm guessing, right? Please let us know in the dream, full-time dream. Please let us know in the chat, full-time dream. How about you, Mr. Steve Turtle?
Yeah, I thought it was really good. I love it. It's short, it's sweet, it's snappy. It really engages you as they go along. As several of you said at the very end, that emotion that you can see, that laughter that they're having a good time. It makes you want to, you know, have a good time with them. So I thought it was a pretty good video. Now, if there was something that I had to pick at and do maybe a little bit different is, as they did with the names, their names and the pets' names, I think maybe something like, you know, state parks, DIYs, campground review, something like that, so that people know what those pictures are and what they could expect. I mean, they see you having fun and you swim and it looks like you're not wearing a bathing suit, but it's you know, it's quick, it's fast, and I think if you popped a few words in there, it would also add a little bit more to that. And that's all. It's all on you, Scott.
Wow, that was quick, Steve. You should talk less more often. That was really good. I really, really like this video. And I think what I like most about it is how fast paced it was. Like Dave said, the music and the cuts lined up really well. It was fantastic. I think my feedback on those cuts, though, sometimes to line it up with the music, it went a little fast for me to take it all in. The second or third time, it kind of sunk in for me. But the first time, it got the point across. I got the happiness, I got the traveling, and I did catch the luck in the word luck in the song. And there was a rainbow, or pot of gold. That's what pot of gold. There was a rainbow. Rabbit's foot. There's a rabbit. And then I think the next thing was stew, like New Year's Day, maybe. And we were cooking. I'm not sure. I wanted to ask you, because you've listened to that song, is Full-Time Dream, was the next line something about stew and you showed cutting the bacon and stuff? I'm curious. But I think some of those cuts were a little fast. And it could be, instead of every beat in that section, maybe every 2 beats or every 4 beats. But I understood what you were trying to do. That's just my feedback. It felt a little fast. And then one thing, I don't know how the program was set up for you, but you would cut to a graphic. It would show, say, 4 images. Then you'd cut to another graphic, a totally different graphic, and 4 different images. What I would have liked is the graphic comes up, you put your 4 images in. Is it possible for this one to disappear, put a new one in, this one disappear, put a new one in, then cut to a new graphic? That way, our eyes not having to totally readjust for everything. We can just, oh, there's a graphic. Oh, there's pictures changing. Oh, there's a new graphic. There's pictures changing. That might have been a little easier to follow. overall, I really like this video. And I see some of you have typed some things in the chat. And Full-Time Dream is telling us, yeah, it's going to be at the top of the page when people click over. And we'll talk about that in the roundtable in just a minute. But guys, my suggestion is if you haven't done this on your channel, Full-Time Dream has just given us a great model of how to do it. We're going to run this again. And as we do, folks in the chat, if there's anything that we didn't cover that caught your attention, good or something you might change, type it in the chat. But here we are. We're going to watch it one more time.
Today is gonna be a little something more. I've got a plan in mind, a special thing in store. The light bulb inside my head says, get out and play, 'cause you never feel this way. It's my lucky day. It's my lucky day. It's my lucky day. My lucky day. Don't need a pot of gold, a rabbit's foot, or to be told. It's my lucky day. It's my lucky day.
I really, really like it. Overall, when you're talking about a channel intro, that's a great model. For me, I do have two pieces of feedback. I'm curious, Donovan, Steve, Dave, what y'all think about this. It took a few clips to establish that this is an RV channel. We saw lots of cool things, lots of cool people, pets, fun things happening, but it took a little while for me to go, oh yeah, I see some RV repair, some how-tos, some traveling. What might have been better would have been a micro approach. Show us the RV drive and show us the work on the RV. I know you want to establish who's on the channel early, but something like, here's the RV drive, and then let's see who's in the RV. I don't know, just something simple. What do y'all think about that?
Yeah, I think it's important. I mean, you want to bring that about. Like I said, sometimes, you just flash some text up there, RV travel, DIYs, RV, but yeah.
I don't know that it matters, because this is one of those videos that keeps you in tune, and we weren't going to walk away from it, right? Because of the fast pace and the good music, we were in it for the long haul. So you were going to get there either way. So for me, I don't think it was as important. Maybe it would have been nice to be maybe right after they introduced each other, the cast, right? But I don't know. I think it was okay.
I think that it's a good point. I think that having a driving shot of the RV to kick it off, just maybe a 2-second clip, would have kind of helped define, because some people will click on a video and click off fast. So if they can see the RV immediately, it might, if that's what they're there for, they're like, oh, there's an RV, I'm here for that. Or, oh, there's an RV, I'm not here for that. Could go either way.
So a couple things I thought of. Life Short, Live It. So Life Short was centered and Live It was off to the side. You may not even noticed, just slightly. And this is nitpicky stuff, but I just thought, Life Short, Live It. You really want to hit that live it, because that's a powerful message. And I don't even mean center it. I mean, I would have covered what you had on the screen completely with live it, so that it really had the power that you were trying to send. And I'd have done it with some kind of different color, like a white rimmed red lettering, great big, live it, have it cover all of it. So you really sent that power in, because it was a powerful message, and I think you should get the power out of it. And the other thing I had was, the reason why I would have ended on the laughing is you showed your logo and you showed subscribe in the middle early on. Then you did 3 times with subscribe and 5 different times with the logo. That's why I think I would have, you already said subscribe and showed your logo once. I think as good as your video is, I wouldn't even do those last 2 scenes. I would have just trailed off with you laughing. And I don't know. It felt like that was a great way to finish it. But those are my thoughts. Don't get me wrong. I'll watch this again. I loved it. It was so much fun. So many things I wanted to see again. So even though I watched it twice for this, I watched it one more time to see what other pictures I missed. So I loved it.
I had another thought. I'm curious what y'all thought about this. Some sort of context that could have come from hearing a little bit from Ron and Judy. Maybe, I mean, and not so much that it makes the video any longer. I think the pace was perfect. I think the length was perfect, but maybe just, hey, I'm Ron, I'm Judy. And we and then give us all that, like on top of all of that. Hey, I'm Ron, I'm Judy. And then the video goes and the narration continues. We saw mom in there, maybe a little context about mom because we see her a couple of times and we see how you're caring for her and you've got her with you. Maybe some context about when she's with you. What are you doing? How is that all working? My thought is that could be something that draws me in even more and I get to know you by hearing your voice. What do you guys think about that? Was it okay like it was, or would that have enhanced it or gotten in the way?
I'm going to pull a Donovan and say, I like it the way it was.
I did too. I thought that's the hook.
Yeah,
in a way, right? Because you had all those questions. Now you got to go find out, Scott.
That's a good point. Yeah.
I would like to say I thought it was pretty awesome. And anytime you can do this in a video, I think it's great, is use those that B-roll when there's something said in a song or when you verbally say it in your narration or whatever you want to call it. If you can match that to symbols or things that make people understand what you're saying, I think it really it makes it a lot better. You know, like if I say I stopped at Lowe's, I might show a stop sign and then Lowe's. So I stopped at Lowe's. And I don't know, I just think that's an opportune time for using B-roll that, you know, you can make people understand better about what you're trying to say, especially if you're from South Carolina, because sometimes our words get messed up and people don't really know what we're talking about. Pictures help.
They say the same thing about Billy Shakespeare. It's just hard to understand him sometimes. It's just a higher level. I think that's what it is.
Exactly.
What was something caught my attention in the chat I wanted to show.
Real quick before we leave what we were talking about with the mom in there. I felt like the imagery that they had of the mom, especially the shot where it had the wheelchair ramp coming out of the front, I felt like the story delivered. In what short piece it was, I got the feeling they're like, okay, we're on this adventure. We're bringing mom with us. And I felt like that it presented it in a way that I knew what that meant.
And that's a good point, David, because just from the wheelchair ramp and the walker and everything, a normal person understands that story right away. So you don't have to really explain it.
Now, I said we were going to come back to this. For a long time, I didn't understand this. You can go into your YouTube behind the scenes, YouTube studio, and you can program YouTube that when somebody lands on your channel page and they've not subscribed, a particular video, such as what we just watched, will start playing. And so within 43 seconds, they know exactly what your channel is about because that's how long that video took. That's a great plan. And then was it 34? 53. Numbers are hard. I'm in South Carolina. We do it different. But in less than a minute, people know what your channel is about. And that's a really cool trick. If you've not done your channel intro, I suggest go in and put it so that new subscribers or non-subscribers see it. And then what you can do is you can set it up so that people who are already subscribed see a particular video, whether it's your latest video or your most popular video, something that's going to draw them in, or even your intro video again. But you can make it play automatically so that in just a minute, they know exactly. Donovan, Steve, David, have y'all taken advantage of that? Is your channel set up that way?
I have one. I'm proud of it, but it's not good.
Dave has one that's not good. I'm very proud.
Trying not to say it.
I honestly, I need to go in and adjust mine again because I think I set them a year ago.
Yeah, mine's over a year, and I keep telling myself I need to come up with something a little bit more current. And I mean, it really hasn't changed much. It's the same thing, but it's a little long. And I think I need to go in and freshen it up. And maybe Ron and Judy have inspired me to take advantage of some time and do so.
Yeah, I would suggest to you, Steve, anytime you can freshen up, you probably should. I think this is a great tip, but I would like a little more explanation. Can you give us some advice? One Strange Adventure type for us. What are some things we could do to use it more like a billboard? I think that's a great tip. I'd like to know more about that. And this is a great tip too. If it's been over a year, like Steve, go take a shower and make a new video. I think that is a good point. But
whoa! Take a shower. Hold on. You're encouraging him to put a video with his shirt off.
Yeah, did you say take a shower video?
I mean, wait. Steve Turtle's talking about normal. Is that even a thing? He goes normal people, and I'm like, what reference do you have?
I was just thinking today, our channel video has a 9-year-old and a 13-year-old in it. At that age, you know how fast they grow and how their voices change and they start to look different. Oh my gosh, we're going to have to change that thing like every 6 months.
You went from hippie to adult.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. But I was thinking like there's going to come a point where we're going to have to change it. They're going to have to be older. There's going to come another point where they're going to be living somewhere else. And we got to do just the 2 old fuddy-duddies and make a new one. But we're going to milk this thing we've got for as long as we possibly can.
Harvey Underway said ours is so old it was shot in 16 millimeter.
16 millimeter.
Steve's was a cave drawing, and he finally got it up on YouTube. It was a conversion program he found.
Hey y'all,
I know we say. Go ahead.
Yes, David.
I just, before we leave this video and move on to the next one, I just wanted to bring up something you know how we save items so that, everybody has something to talk about.
Yes, sir.
Let me just say about what I was saying about sound effects before we leave this one. They used this song where they had lyrics in the song, and they could have gone 2 ways. This is something that I battle with all the time because sometimes you'll have a better connection with your viewers if they hear your voice during that. And I don't know where they got the song, but if it's Epidemic, if you get it from Epidemic, then you can do the option where you get the instrumental only, and then you can actually blend in some of your own voices. Now, their cuts were really fast in this video, so I don't think that would have worked. I think it was smarter to go with the vocals from the musician that they used. But I would have added some sound effects to help a connection with what they saw. And along with what Donovan and what it looks like a lot of people in the chat are saying, ending on them laughing would have been great, and include the laughter. I think that their laughter would have been like this infectious thing at the very end. You don't need to tell me to hit subscribe. You get to that end of the video and you just hear us laughing and see us laughing. And you're like, I want to be a part of this.
I want to be part of that. That's right. Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to go with David's thing is you could have, leaving all the lyrics in there, if you shift the videos around, so when there's no lyrics, that's the ones you might pop in. Like if you saw the waterfall, do it where there's no lyrics, and you could have the water running at that one moment over the music a little bit. And then, so you can move those scenes around to fit, even if you have lyrics. That's another way to do it.
I was talking about laughter. I was working on a video the other day, and there's something where my kids are laughing, and it's that infectious laughter you're talking about. I grabbed the audio and scooted it earlier before that clip, and there's music going. So you're listening to the music, you hear this laughter, and you go, what's coming next? And then it goes and it shows them they're in like a mirror maze. It shows them laughing at themselves in a mirror. But you hear it, and it's that belly laugh of a 9-year-old, and you're like, what is she laughing about? And you can't help but want to see it.
That mirror is the only way I ever look skinny, just so you know.
Well, anytime you're in the mirror, I have a belly laugh. Yeah, so that's right.
And that's a very good technique. That whole that where you was talking about laughter before you see it. It is. Yeah.
What is that one, Donovan? The L cut?
Yes, where the sound starts before.
Yeah. Makes you want to see.
No, that's a J cut. Because
J.
You know what I call it? I call it the one where I drag the audio over.
Yeah, audio starts before the clip. That's all we need to know.
That's the one.
These are great tips from One Strange Adventure. He said, use your banner and show the things. Here's when our videos are coming out. Here's where you can follow us. Here's where you can get in touch with us. And he says we can take a look at his. And so there's the link. Please don't leave our live stream right now, but do go check them out because it's plain as day on his banner. I'm looking at it right now. It's got follow us here. It's got the logo. It's got mom and dad. It says videos twice per week. And then it tells here are what the videos are about. And then there's an arrow. You can subscribe and you can become a member. I mean, he's got all the things and it's not cluttered either. It's well done. So I would suggest click on that, but not right now. I can see it right now too. You just clicked on it. Y'all stop that. I'm going to stop giving helpful hints if y'all not going to listen to me. All right. We've got another video and this is unique. We've only done this once before. This is a non-published video from Proceeding Onward in America. They were actually editing today and they uploaded it just so we could take a look at it. So we're going to see something. This is a world premiere of minute 6 of an upcoming POA video. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you because this is why they reached out. This is a dry, could be boring portion of the video. They are sharing some awesome information, but specifically what they wanted to know was, is it too much information? Does it get cluttered? Does it get lost? What can we do to help people digest it? So this is what some people would say is a boring minute because it's just a straight ahead delivery of information. So we're gonna play it. And in the chat tonight, y'all have already done an awesome job of sharing some tips, which helps Steve because he runs out of things to say. So if y'all would, as we run this POA clip, if you would share some advice in the chat, we would greatly appreciate it. Or at least Donovan would because he didn't take notes on this video. So here we go. This is a world premiere from POA.
So if every piece of mail that you get, if you use South Dakota as your mailing address, they will charge an additional $1 handling fee. Whereas if you just have all your mail go down to Texas and just leave South Dakota as your domicile, you should not be charged that $1 extra. The only thing on top of it you would have to do every year is the membership annual fee. So to be part of the Escapees Club, it's $49.95. Oh, the mailing service is an offset to that club, which is why you would have to pay whatever the A, B, or C category is annually.
So if you don't want the mailing service, but you still want to be part of Escapees, you can just be the Escapees RV Club. And
Exactly.
that's just $49.95 a year. It gives you access to their campgrounds. It gives you access to their Facebook page. And it gives you, I think, a newsletter as well.
Yeah. So you'll end up getting a magazine.
I'm looking in the chat. Y'all are giving some awesome feedback in the chat. Let's let Phyllis Diller get us started down there.
What? I'm not Phyllis Diller. I had to make coffee, and I drank it really, really strong, but I got through the whole minute. No, I love Becky and Fabian. I think they do awesome videos, and it's a very good subject matter to share, but it is very dry. And I think what I might do is I would go to Escapees website, and as I'm talking about these things, I would show, you want to show your face, but then you want to transition to these are some of the benefits and show them on the screen to break up some of that just head talk. I think that would be an outstanding thing to do. But it's very difficult when you start talking about those things. And then sometimes I do it from, all right, you open up your YouTubes or your Googles and you type in this and you go to their web page and you do that and you just take someone through the process as you talk about it and show the web pages. I mean, that helps, but it's dry. Throw up some text and some sound and, try to jazz it up the best you can. But it's difficult, but it is a very important thing. It's a good subject matter. And now I'm going to hush. I don't know why I got to be Phyllis Diller.
I don't know. If I were you, Steve, I would have gone with a Harry Carey, even though the glasses aren't the right size. I would have pulled off a Harry Carey with those. At any rate, this video actually really hit home for me. I'm very thankful that I got the chance to watch the entire thing today. Thank y'all so much. As was discussed at the opening of this video, we are in the process of going full-time. So learning as much about escapees as possible is really useful information. So I paid very close attention to this video. The two things I would say that I would make some adjustments to. Becky, you're really easy to hear. Fabian, you're a little bit soft-spoken. If you guys could do something to your volume levels so that Fabian kind of comes in at about the same level. I don't know if you need to go in. Sorry for that. We're living in an RV. I don't know if you need to go into your audio levels. I don't know what you use for editing, but I know that in Premiere, I could actually go into audio and I could adjust it. So like if my daughter's on the screen and you can hear me really loud and she's very quiet, I'll actually like lower my level and then raise up my daughter's to try to make it so that you can hear both of us when the track is playing. It's not way off base. Don't get me wrong. If you just run with it as it is, you can hear both of you. But Becky just stands out more. And Fabian, it's like I kind of have to like, wait, what did he say? Maybe back it up a little bit to hear it. And the other item I would say is this was very South Dakota specific. It's not necessarily pertinent to me because we live in Texas and we're going to go with escapees in Texas. So some of the processes will be a little different for us. So you may want to, somewhere in your title, description, tags, make sure that you let people know there's a lot of South Dakota specific to this one. So aside from that, I thought it was great. I do have a few other items I'll save for the roundtable. How about you, Donovan?
See, the thing is when Scott mutes me, then I have to remember he muted me. So first of all, great info. I mean, this is a thing every new RVer wants to know about, right? And this is a great thing to cover. I love that you look at the camera instead of the screen like I always do. And I usually just do that to make sure my hair's in place. But outside of that, here's the important thing. You want to make it fun. There's no reason you can't have a little music in the background while you do this. You want to make it fun. One of you be someone who doesn't know anything about it and ask the question, and then the other one answers the question. That can make it very interactive and kind of fun to watch. I would do the club dues first and then the mail in your video. I watched the whole thing, so I'm just bringing this in real quick. The reason why is the club dues is a simple thing to explain. The mail's a little more complicated. So if they got past the club dues, they're definitely interested in the rest. So I would hit the club dues first, and I'll save the rest for later. What do you think?
They did ask, are there other things in the video that you have some feedback on? And, you know, we don't have the advantage of watching the whole video right now, but I'll say we've said it before. Fabian and Becky are the all-time #1 pros at giving teasers in their video. Here's what's coming up. And they did that at the beginning of this video. It says, in this video, da, 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 da. It's amazing every time. I love that about your videos. And I really like the advice Steve gave. It's the same advice I was going to give, to go grab a shot from some of their literature and show it on the screen. They do it, full disclosure, they do it at other points in the video, but because we're looking at just this 1 minute, that would be something to break it up. But it adds validity to you. It makes you more authoritative because you're going, look, here's the research I've done. And, you know, you add a graphic to it. You show a little bit of their text and you circle it. Here's the thing I'm talking about. And you're not doing anything special. It's just that it's going, oh, there's text on the screen that came from the interwebs. It must be true. And you're giving authority to what you're already saying. And I think the music idea is a great idea. And it doesn't have to be anything fancy, just something that when you're going, when it's just dry delivery, there's something else to grab the ears attention. And there was something else we just said that I really, when we were talking about Fabian's volume, and then all of y'all in the chat, not all of you, a lot of you folks in the chat are cracking on Fabian because he looks so disinterested in what his precious adoring wife is saying. And he's got what do we call it? An RFF, a resting frowny face. That's just I thought Fabian was mean when I first met him. He's not. He's an awesome person. That's just what he looks like. That's what you get from him. So what did Becky say? Okay, so cover Fabian's face. That's what you're telling me. The tip that I have, and the only reason I know this tip is because we had this same discussion with another video a couple months ago. If you film it and then you go back to edit and you realize that's what's going on, then let's zoom in on Becky's face and let's watch her for a little bit, because Fabian doesn't look like that when he's talking. So let's cut back to both of you, or cut in on Fabian, and that will help focus the viewer. It'll take out the parts you don't want in there. And it's a pattern interrupt. Pattern interrupts are important when you're giving dry material. It can be a visual, like Steve would say. It could be a sound effect, have something swooshing in on the screen. It could be music underneath, something that's going to change what we're seeing or what we're hearing. Just put some pattern interrupts in. Y'all are giving awesome feedback in the chat. We're going to talk about some of that in just a minute, but we're going to play this 1 minute. This is no longer a world premiere. This is a world take 2 from POA, and then we're going to come back. So if you've got more feedback, put it in the chat and we'll talk about it in 1 minute.
So every piece of mail that you get, if you use South Dakota as your mailing address, they will charge an additional $1 handling fee. Whereas if you just have all your mail go down to Texas and just leave South Dakota as your domicile, you should not be charged that $1 extra. The only thing on top of it you would have to do every year is the membership annual fee. So to be part of the Escapees Club, it's $49.95. Oh, the mailing service is an offset to that club, which is why you would have to pay whatever the A, B, or C category is annually.
So if you don't want the mailing service, but you still want to be part of Escapees, you can just be the Escapees RV Club. And
Exactly.
that's just $49.95 a year. It gives you access to their campgrounds. It gives you access to their Facebook page, and it gives you, I think, a newsletter as well.
Yeah. So you'll end up getting a magazine.
Here's what I don't like about this VidLift thing. I think we're doing some great stuff, but here's the negative. This is the not good. Because I've done it. Once you put your video in, you get all this feedback. You want to go take your video down, redo it, and put it back up. This is great information, not just from the faces on the screen, but from the chat. This is amazing. I'm loving it. So usually when we come back, y'all have so much to share. What do you think, Donovan, Steve, Dave?
First thing I was going to say is I didn't even catch it the first time through the video. They've got campsites for escapees. Awesome. Can't wait to check that out.
So when I talked about the like one asking the question, the other one answer, and I'm not sure, I didn't notice that about Fabian. I don't know. I guess I wasn't paying that close attention to that. But here's the simple part. You film all the questions as Fabian asks all the questions, and then you film Becky doing all the answers. Instead of sitting side by side, then you can do the jump back and forth thing. And you can still zoom in on Becky and pan out every so often to keep it bouncing a little bit. And I'm telling you, the one thing you really use is a transition for information. Like we're going to talk about how much does it cost just to belong or something like that. And then tell that part. So you can make like chapters with your little banner or transition thing. That way everybody can jump to the part, because if they already know the dues but they don't understand the mailing, they can jump right to A on mailing and B on mailing and C on mailing. So it's just another way, because this is informational and it's really packed full, and it took me a while. I think I took 2 weeks to decide if we were going to join or not. And this would have been much easier if someone had just explained it to me instead of me having to try to figure it out. So
And
those are my thoughts.
Donovan just shared another really good pattern interrupt. Now you've got, with your questions, you've got chapters built in. There's another graphic. So there's something visual on the screen. Well, when the visual comes flying in, there's a swoosh sound or something to get it on the screen. And it's just one more thing to break it up. That's Donovan. You're good tonight. You better stop, because you can't have too many more good ones.
Now, If you're going to take a website from the interwebs and you're going to capture that and put it in a video, how do you do it?
All right. I did it recently, and the way I did it was a screen capture. I think it was built into my Mac. I think there was some buttons I pushed.
Yeah.
And I typed the things I wanted to type, and then I put it in. But to see the stuff on the screen, well, let me stop. Who else can answer that question better than me? And then I've got something else to say, because I don't really know the answer of what I'm trying to say.
Well, who else on this panel doesn't have Apple?
It's okay, guys. Everybody makes mistakes.
All right, so Windows now has Xbox built into Windows. I don't know how many people know that, but if you hit start and you go down, there's an Xbox section. There is a game screen capture built into the Xbox features of Windows. I had to do some Google searching to figure out, it was a quick command. I can't remember. I'll have to Google search it again. But it was like just control and one other thing, and it brought up this menu, and then I was able to pick what I was going to screen capture. And it was actually pretty smooth. I had no idea because I don't do a whole lot of video gaming, but it came in very handy. I did a video a long time ago on how to reserve Texas State Park campsites. And so I went through and showed people exactly how I do it. So that was pretty awesome. Why don't you, I mean, you guys know, is there an app specific within Mac that helps you to do it?
I'm embarrassed. Steve Turtle taught me.
I use a free version of Filmora. And when I want to capture something on YouTube or or as I'm doing it on the screen, I'll open up Filmora. I drop down and you can record your computer screen. So I drop that down, I start the recording, and then I do the movements on the keypad, and it will record everything on the screen. I also
go
again,
ahead.
and
No,
you can also do the same thing during a live stream and record the audio and the video. And
It does
Donovan
the
and I just
speakers
realized
and
that.
the microphone. Does the speakers and the microphone and the video all at one time.
Yeah. And
now, on a Mac, those of you that use the God's gift to computers, it is Command Shift 5. Once you go Command Shift 5, you've got options on whether you're recording part of the screen or the whole screen or whatever. But that's how easy it is on yours. And Harold's saying he's got it on his little bar. He just pushes a button.
Okay.
So they just said on app you have it, but on Apple you can't record. You have to record audio or screen. You can't do both at the same time. I've never found a place where you can do both if you're capturing video. Now, a single screenshot, I mean, that's fine. But
right.
I just want to point out what Steve's taught us is works for both Apple and Windows.
Right. Yeah. Command Shift 5 is just screen capture. And there's Windows. But here's
Oh, 5 is for Mac?
Right.
Okay.
Shift Windows key and then the S on Windows. But here's a helpful hint. If once you record it and you go back and watch it, it is weird to see the mouse clicking and see things being typed and not hear it. So what you've got to do is go find at Donovan's favorite website, freesound.org, find computer keys typing, find mouse clicking, and then you just put it under your video. You pull that audio in at the right time, and it makes it look seamless. I mean, it's all of a sudden, I showed a website and something the other day, and there was a search, there was a click, and once I put the audio in, it was really cool.
POA mentioned they use Final Cut Pro, so they're using Apple, and they use the same program I do. And I can be honest with you, every time I want to learn something new, I just put FCPX and then ask my question. And there's a video out there that'll show you everything you need to know. Just start your search with FCPX. And I guarantee you, I learned how to clone myself and become Steve Turtle. I've done so many different things like that. And I've learned it all just by doing that one thing. So when they asked earlier, trying to learn how to do some of these things, that's all you do to do it. They really will. Everybody's got a video for Final Cut Pro.
I do want to say that we've got some awesome input in the chat down here. but be careful the source. Just check your source. You might want to check the Google machine before you press this on your device.
Ricky. Yeah, don't do that, people.
Ricky's the same one that had to call tech support because his coffee cup holder wasn't going in and out of the hard drive as easily.
That's him.
Yeah.
Hey, if we could keep it on the video for just a moment, I've got two things for Fabian and Becky real quick. First off is it may be a little costly, but if you go with the new Rode Wireless Go 2 microphones, you get 2 separate lav mics, and you can actually adjust the levels on each individual one. So you could actually turn up the gain on Fabian and turn down the gain on Becky. It's about $300, but as time goes on, I know you've got the kid coming on the way, and all you can think about right now are diapers. But at any rate, for the future, when you're ready for that kind of a jump, that might be a good one, especially since the two of you like to be on screen at the same time all the time. I'm thinking about it for Tanya and I, just because it'd be nice. Right now, I literally will take my lav mic off and I'll hold it over to Tanya if we're doing something like that. Or I got a newer one, though, a new shotgun that works a little better. The other thing, since we were talking about putting in some cuts in there of showing the website, what about some B-roll of the DMV? I know that they probably don't want you filming inside, but if everybody's going to the Rapid City DMV, you could just drive by it, showing people what to expect, as they're driving by it, as well as this KOA and the PO boxes. Anything that's involved would make some great B-roll footage for this.
David, make a note. Becky told us last night they've got everything they need from their current registry, but this is the item you can get for them at this point. And let me go ahead and say, she did tell us last night they've got all the baby things they need, but I think it's probably okay for us to plug that Fabian is doing a really cool thing right now. He's doing a charity ride to fight children's cancer and, research and find cures. And but Fabian is going to, he's riding and he's raising money and he's getting sponsorships. And the first person to put the link in to help Fabian wins a prize of nothing. But there it is right there. If you guys are willing to support Fabian, just go check that out. And it's really cool what he's doing. And except for the item that Dave is about to buy for their registry, they've got everything else they need.
I gotta say, Proceeding Onward in America said they're no longer at the DMV, so they can't get that kind of picture anymore. I'm going to tell you a secret. This is a bad one, okay, but it's a secret. If you find you can find common, what do you call it, royalty-free images of a DMV. But here's the other thing: if you can't find one that's free when you search in Google for images, what you do is you take one and then you crop it down in a way that it doesn't look anything like the one it started with, and use that one. That way you could have been just a different angle that someone took. I know that's really bad to tell you, but it does work.
What's that word? What's that word when you respect the flag? Plagiarism? No. Wait. No.
I was going to say that a lot of DMVs look very similar. Hint, hint. Do with that what you need to.
Yeah, there's in Google, in the search, you can hit the more or the tools button, and you can say Creative Commons, and that'll be all the free pictures you can use.
Yeah.
So if you type DMV, it may just be a line of people standing in the DMV line, but if it's a Creative Commons, you can use that. So.
Yeah, I don't think copyrights go on strike.
That was a good idea.
Yeah, copyrights don't go on strike, and it's just being resourceful. But go ahead, Donovan.
The one Camping Therapy just wrote. Go to Google Maps Street View. Great solution.
Yeah.
You absolutely can use that.
Yeah. Good stuff.
I've only had to do that maybe once or twice. And like I said, you can't, if you'd use a different angle or make it a little cockeyed, you can turn it into something completely different. No one's going to know the difference.
And if there's a free way to do something, William's got it. William's got the hookups on the free stuff.
I thought he was about to say to keep me out of jail.
He doesn't know how to keep you out of jail. He doesn't.
No, I know he
He
doesn't.
would. William
No,
would send
he's-
you to jail,
He's,
Donovan.
he's always in jail.
Well, I mean, it's better than getting advice
He-
from Joan
He
Rivers,
calls me all
Urkel,
the time.
and
He
Sally
says, "Can you
Jesse
bail
over
me
here.
out?" I
don't
said,
know.
"I don't even know where you're at." With all of this that's going on with the chat and with everybody on the panel, it is so wonderful to see that so many ideas are shared in this format. That the fact, that the people in the comment, and you got a lot of people there that have a lot of good ideas and thoughts, and then we're all bouncing them around. I think this is just a really good format for sharing ideas and trying to get better at what we do. And
Y'all, I've learned so much from all
Yeah.
of the that come in week to week. I'm learning so much, and one day I'll get better at it.
well,
But just one day, no more than it's only one day.
but if you don't know it all, don't let that hold you back from being creative. Create, and then every time you learn something, apply it and try to get better. But create, just do it.
Nick's Picks put something in there just recently that's probably pretty important. She said if you use Google Earth, you're supposed to give them a credit in the description. Simple enough, right? Great.
Yeah.
And you should do that anyway, unless you cheat.
So, full disclosure, the date has not yet been scheduled for when the improvement will start. It will. I'm told it's going to happen. We just don't have a date scheduled yet on when I'm going to get better at it. It'll show up at some point, I guess. I do want to make sure everybody remembers what we said, or some people may not know yet. Starting next week, something's different. What is it, Donovan?
VidLift is going to have its own channel because these guys bullied me until I got it done.
I thought it was that Donovan was going to have hair.
No, I do
That
have
also
hair.
has been
You don't get
rescheduled.
to see it. It's an invisibility cloak on my head.
I think there's a better chance I'll get pregnant.
52 centimeters.
So please go to the link so you can get notified by hitting the bell. So then you guys know it'll always be on this channel going forward. And since Dave missed 2 weeks in a row, we're making him the guinea pig. So he'll be the first one to host.
I
So
have
exciting,
no idea
isn't it?
what's going on.
Yeah,
That's a
He can
general
call me
life
and we'll work through it together. He
and
can
he's
call
a-
me. We'll work.
and he's an IT guy.
I know.
Yeah, but I say that I'm a Windows IT guy, and then the rest of you guys would probably be like, "Oh, so you just click next, huh?"
So from now on, you guys don't have to keep searching and tracking the thumbnail, and the Facebook page is still going to work. There's been talk about you guys submitting a thumbnail for advice. I don't know that we're the right ones for advice, but everyone that joins it can help. We are crowdsourcing. That's what we're doing right here. It's not just us four. Look at all the people in the chat that are throwing out these great ideas. And I try to say this almost every show. Don't forget that just because we're saying here's some other ideas, we're not saying what you're doing is wrong. We're just trying to give you other options. Because believe me, every time I show a video I've done to Jody, she tells me, you should have tried this, this, and this. And I'm like, why didn't I think of that? So you guys give me credit sometimes, but sometimes it's her. So I just want everybody to make sure they understood that, because we never want anybody to go away feeling hurt or anything. And almost everybody knows this is because we care about your videos and we want to help, just like the people in the chat.
Go ahead, Dave.
Before we go, I want to thank One Strange Adventure for coming in tonight. I invited them in, and then I discovered it's their 19th anniversary today. So I'm sorry for putting you on the spot on such a big day. I'm sure Cindy's probably punching Harold right now. But thank you all for coming in today. Appreciate it, and happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary. So we are just about out of time. We got to wrap it up. Normally at this point, we tell you where the next show is going to be, but we just told you it's going to be on the VidLift channel, which is going to be different. You've got to go find the VidLift channel. It's a new one. Donovan gave us the link. You might want to go ahead and save that link, but we'll see you guys next week. And we would really, really, really appreciate it if you guys would send us a video or a link at vidliftinfo@gmail.com. That would allow us to have some more videos to review next week. So send us a link to one of your videos. Tell us what minute segment you'd like us to look at. And if you've got specific things that you want us to talk about next week, send us a link. Tell us what you want us to look at, and we would love to take a look at your video. And everybody, right now, we are about done. Type happy anniversary to Harold and Cindy in the chat. We'll see y'all next week.